Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's market Sitrep. Thank you for tuning in. I already see some people in the chat saying hi. I hope you're all doing very well. It is Monday, the 15th of May, and yeah, I'm back on camera again. So I was traveling for a bit last week, and I'll show you in a second what I was doing. Hello, Marius. Hello, Poker. Hello, Logic Mindset. Hello, Enza. Hello, X. Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for tuning in. Let me know if the sound is okay. Everything looks fine on my side. Microphone's picking up well, so it should be okay. Hello, Kyle. Nice of you to tune in. So you already know what this picture is about because you were there too. Yes. So yeah, well, some people in the crypto space are thinking about Lambos or maybe dreaming about Lambos. We have our very own Flynn actually driving Lambos and racing him in Lambos and actually winning podiums with him. So that's where I went as well. Traveled to Singapore and Malaysia and watched the race in Sepang in near Kuala Lumpur. And it was very, very nice. Very cool race. It was a lot of fun. Very up close to the action. I don't know if you can see it here, but on the side it says SFHS right there in the middle. So it's the Safehouse car. Picture is maybe not so good because it's a bit on the side. I'll have to get a better one for next time. All right, it looks like everyone is here and tuning in. And Andre, hello, sound is perfect, and accents as well. Okay, thank you. Thanks for the sound check. So enough about Lambos. How about we get to cryptos? So the plan for today is to make a plan for the entire week. Yeah, what's been going on? Kind of a quick review and see, what are the plans ahead? What possibilities could we have for the week ahead for Bitcoin? I'm gonna take a look at SPX as well. Maybe the Nasdaq, maybe Apple. Yeah, I think those three would be good. DXY, so the US dollar index, very important. EURUSD to trade the inverse of the US dollar index, for example. You can use other pairs if you want. Then gold, and then wrap it up with Ethereum. Yeah, so we start crypto, go into the legacy markets, and finish up with crypto again, and see if we can come up with something tradable, basically, for the week. Yeah. So here we are. You can see already that I have cleaned up pretty much everything on my chart. I'm going to show you a few more things, but I did mark that one pivot for the simple reason that it is was the standing low of this upper range since mid-March. Yeah. So if all of this is to be a range with deviations to the upside, in other words, leaving the range for a bit, but ultimately failing to stay outside of it and coming back to it. So this little box here, you could say, yeah, I can draw it as well. So this little box here would be your little range, deviation, and always coming back to it. Yeah. This time, not only did we come back to it, during the past week, we actually crossed the entire thing, made a new low, and now we seem to be crawling back into it. So the question is, of course, what's next? Well, before we get into that, very, very important thing that most people, I think, don't do as often as they should, is to zoom out and to ask yourself the questions, where are we? Yeah, on the entire chart. Because that can have a very, very decisive effect on what kind of a scalp trade even you take for that day, or a day trade is even more. Scalp trades, you can kind of just go either way. It doesn't matter perhaps that much. And we can already see that we are at a very key area on the chart. Yeah, we have been here for a while. It's nothing new. Now it's the third month that we're battling around here. And where's my little pivot here? There. one single line. Yeah, that was your pivot low here from June 2021, and we continue to fight around this area. Yeah, so it's getting messy around this area. That's one of the ways to look at it. The other one is to add a fixed range pool. So also a very, very simple tool to use. Click one here, extend it all the way to the right, and I'm going to hide the other one, even though you can already see they overlap almost perfectly. The value area low of this entire huge range. I mean, we're talking about 3 years of data now. This is basically the entry point for everything up here. So if you want Bitcoin at 47 or even 50K, you must get past this level or area. Yeah, let's call it an area because of course it's a very high time frame, but let's say 29K basically. 29.30. 30 is a nice psychological number. It's been trying and so far failing to do so. In other words, the message that has been sent so far is trying to get acceptance in here. What does that mean? It means for buyers to say, wow, this is an amazing price. Oh, Bitcoin is so cheap. I really want to buy it because it's going to go up here. And not only that, but sellers not being able to counter that and being completely overrun. That's how price goes up. If that's not the case, if people are like, or most market participants, oh, this is kind of expensive and we just came up from here, we just doubled in price from 50K, too expensive, I don't want it. Then price is going to drop because the selling will take over. Yeah. So very simple way of talking about the market dynamics. So this area is not just an area or a pivot. This is an extremely key area if you want to see significant upside. And it can be quite significant because if you look at these candles here, they're basically just red. That means no horizontal levels of resistance on the weekly time frame have been created on the way down. The first one we had was here, and that one has already been traded through. Yeah, so it's kind of lost its special meaning in a sense. So yeah, this looks more bearish than bullish. Yes, admittedly so, because we're below that value area low. And as long as that's the case, then so be it. To simplify, we can use this pivot as well, which is almost exactly the same. And now we can zoom in and see what cool stuff we can find up here. And you can already tell that this was a range. We dropped here, another range was created. We came back, we doodled around this big range down here, pushed away from it. And now Bitcoin was attempting to stay within this upper range here. And so far it has not been decisively able to do so. If you're already familiar with horizontal levels, excuse me, you will see that there's already a weekly one here, another weekly here, and another weekly here. Let me see if I have them on and just turn them off here. No, that's the daily, 1 second. So there's one weekly level and another weekly level. And of course, to the downside, yeah, might as well just add it in here for to the downside. That's the next one. Yeah. So 22K, that's your next weekly level of support if we lose the current area of support that we have now. Yeah. In other words, if this turns full bearish, zip, and this candle gets completely filled, then that would be your next weekly level of support, untapped one. Yeah. Of course, you can also argue, hey man, we found a lot of resistance here back then and a lot of resistance here. Wouldn't you expect price to somehow find some sort of support here if we drop further? Yes. Yes. The 25K area is not empty. So it's definitely can be used as a take profit area, but from an untapped horizontal level perspective, that's what we're looking for. That's your next one. Okay. So we have 2 to the upper side, 1 to the downside. And now we start looking a little bit more into the local range. Another trick, turn everything off again. Yeah. And let your eyes feast, feast with the chart and have a look at what's going on. So if this is a range, let's just put everything together. Yeah, ups and downs. This would be the entry candle. So arguably we can leave it out. First click here, take it to the right. There you go. There's your local range. And basically it's compiling data from Saturday, the 18th of March until now. So we have a couple of months of data in here. So it's not nothing. Yeah, it's a much more powerful range than something on the 3-minute chart, for example. So there's a lot of data behind this. And as we can see here, without drawing anything else, any of the horizontals, is that we dipped below this value area low. Yeah. So most market participants find that price should be in between these two, right? That's the point of all this. Fair value is viewed still as 28K. This is basically an indecision point. Yeah. And maximum transaction volume horizontally. That's the point of control. And all of these candles that we spent down here, even though we did push further down to this one, closed relatively close to this value area low, below it, so arguably more bearish. But now we can turn on that little pivot again. No daily candle close below that low. Yeah. So even though price was going down impulsively since the 6th of May, boom, 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 took some breaks in between, but still down, down, down. It was not able to close a single daily candle below this low. Yeah. So it means it's a little bit less bearish, you could say. And that price is now actually doing the opposite and finding its way up. And this is, we're trying to fight its way up. Here we have a daily horizontal level. There, right there, was made between Saturday and Sunday. It was backtested today as support, and now we're moving past the daily open, past the value area low, and higher. Yeah. So today we definitely have a bullish impulse going on. And if we look at the whole thing without any expectations of 50K or 7K or oh my goodness, what's going to happen, and treat this for what it is, just a range, then this is just could be the beginning of a range rotation, first to the point of control, and then to the value area high. That's it. Yeah, nice and simple. And you say, well, that sounds kind of boring. Well, that's still 6% up more. And of course, if you got in ideally from the backtest of the daily level, that's about an 8% move. I think that's pretty juicy. I'll take that. So that's the daily level that I kind of jumped the gun on this one. What about other daily levels? Yeah, that's our support one, which has been backtested very nicely. And to the upside, you will see that nothing, all the way up here. Yeah. So we have to go all the way up here to be able to draw the next untap daily level at 29.5. But now I'm going to turn on the weekly levels. Oh, I hope. What's this one? I don't even know. Oh, yeah, it was the lower weekly. So those are your weekly levels. Yeah. And now we have a daily and a weekly relatively close to each other. The upper weekly at 30K. And this is our little support area. So now you start seeing that, oh, wait a minute, this weekly and this value area high are kind of close to each other. So what do we do next? Well, we just add a fib retracement from the high to the low. And there you go. There's your golden pocket with the weekly level and the value area high. 3. Okay. Daily level right behind it. 786 is here, right where these highs are. And then the other weekly level. So my preference would be, well, if we seem to have an impulse that is bringing us back into the range, is to rotate first to the point of control, which has to be a take profit area for any long trades. No financial advice, do whatever you want. And the second part would be to make it up here and tap this area. Yeah, whether this is the turnaround area or perhaps the daily level, or second possibility would be take all of the stop losses above these highs for any short positions and even hit that weekly level. That would be great. Yeah. So that's another possibility. In other words, points at which you can expect some sort of a possible entry for a short. If, of course, these levels get blasted through, be careful because we're going to make a new high and then the entire thing shifts again to being above. Where's our little key level here? June 2021 low. Yeah, I'm going to let it blink a little bit. If you spend too much time up there, that means you're spending time and volume and gaining acceptance into, the path to 50K basically. So it's a very interesting area, as you can see. And the edges are just fantastic because it gives you the best risk reward. Now, how do you get into these kind of trades? Well, you can complicate your life very much with fancy templates and don't know anymore where wovon und hinten ist, yeah? Like we say in Germany. Or you simply look at market structure and keep it simple. Yeah, that I'm even going to turn off the retracement. That's the daily level. And you can see that this is bearish, 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 bearish. This little range is established here. There's a violent move to the downside. That is just a fake out. Anybody who shorts down here gets punished immediately. It's way too late and gets stopped back out. Yeah, it gets squeezed down. Now, this could be, or doesn't have to have the follow through. It can just take you back to the range and then you continue down. That's one possibility. But in this case, you can already see that this had quite a bit of follow through and quite a nice move back up above our little pivot low. Yeah, always have a high time frame reference there to know what's going on in the low time frames. So all of this can be considered as a failed auction process. In other words, all of the selling here was just being absorbed by bigger limit buy orders. Yeah, over time, it just took a bit longer than a swing failure pattern. And here you are holding this new range up here away from the lower one. Yeah, any attempt to go back to this range quickly bought back up. And today, yeah, this is already here after the daily open. So today's session, Monday the 15th, another backtest of the daily level, which was created over the weekend, and a move higher, also away from this range. So we have a bullish market structure locally forming, which helps us with the idea of expecting this to rotate higher within the range. Yeah, that's the basic, or the most I think the most basic way to look at it, and the easiest way without complicating yourself too much. Flip this daily level to resistance. Yeah, go back below it and start closing candles below it, even on the 15-minute, losing this, then of course immediately bearish and your long is in trouble. Yeah. One thing we do have to pay attention to is the fact that taking these lows also made a bit of a statement. Yeah. We have an uptrend since pretty much, what is this, January, basically this year so far. It's been an uptrend, but however, now we could be starting to change that. Yeah, here's a high, here's a higher low. So far, so good. It's all okay. But all of these can be viewed as a lower high. Yeah, they are on the daily time frame. And now we just made a lower low. In other words, it's lower than this one and it's lower than this one. So this could be the beginning of bearish market structure. Okay, and a move further down. Could be. How are we going to know? Well, if we see a rejection from, for example, here, from this area. Yeah, you can even add a cool parallel channel to that, and add an extra factor of confluence or of different technical tools coming together. So that would give us what time? Oh yeah, so towards mid-end of the week, huh? Yeah, so we have some time to get there. And right now, oh, how cool is that? The middle of the channel is resistance. So yeah, you can draw all sorts of different channels. This is just one I was playing around with, but lower parts maybe not that cool. I'm using this pivot here, but it's another way to look at it. Yeah, so that would be my bias. My bias would be expecting a range rotation. Point of control has to be a take profit because you can reject off of this. Yeah, you can reject off of this one and go lower again. That's why. But I see a lot of tasty stuff around here that would be very nice to reach. That's all. So that would be the, hopefully as, okay, no questions so far. Hopefully that's clear enough. And let's jump to the other ones to see if we can substantiate this idea with by looking at the legacy markets. Yeah, I like to do that very much to keep all of these assets in mind and the movements of the other markets, because Bitcoin is not living alone in this financial market universe. Yeah, it's a part of it, and it does get influenced by everything else. So why ignore that? Yeah. Let me just zoom out real quick, just to the monthly candle on this one. This is the S&P 500, SPX on Wanda specifically. There's different charts you can use whatever you like. Last month we did manage to close a monthly candle higher than for the past year, which is great. And this month we seem to have moved lower, back tested. Yeah, took out actually the lows from the previous month, and now we're moving higher. Now for this to be super bullish, it has to claim the monthly open. In other words, where we started, May, and keep going. Yeah, this area is very, very key. Yeah, it's this little green box that I've drawn here. That's your new weekly level of resistance. So if we zoom in, it looks like this. Yeah, that's the weekly level of resistance. Let me just turn off the fixed range for a second. And now we're still in this green box of, support, resistance, flip. So it keeps pushing higher, gets rejected, tries to go again, gets rejected. So it's definitely having trouble get past this area. Now you have a weekly level of resistance. So let's see if that is useful for anything. There's your local range. Let me just draw that fixed range too. So I would put all the volume together. You see we're approaching the value area high again. Same thing, yeah. Fib retracement from high to low. Yeah, I'll do it a bit. There you go. Golden pocket resistance, 786 up here, value area high, yeah. And then the weekly behind it, which was initially a daily level and back tested as resistance here. That's textbook stuff. This is beautiful. Yeah, when you see something like this, back test and the move back down, then that's when I like to expect a range rotation, which we did get. And of course, taking out the standing low. So kind of a similar story in a sense of taking that standing low and then rotating the range again. Yeah, it's just at a different phase than Bitcoin. Bitcoin is closer to the bottom. So this is not, it would be nicer, so to speak, if this was at the bottom and then had the whole way to move up. This one has already moved up. And as you can see, there's like a magic line here at 40, what is this? 41.40, more or less. And price just seems to get stuck there. Yeah, that's not super duper bullish. Super duper bullish would be to just blast out of here, and just go past all of these resistances and higher. But so far, no cigar. Yeah. So this is very much, it's still a resistance, the resistance it has been for, and it's not very helpful for that Bitcoin idea. We can look at the ES chart, same thing. Yeah, golden pocket. And this one looks a bit different. This is actually very, very cool. This is the NASDAQ, the CME mini futures. And you can see that it's been able to not only start closing daily candles above the previous month high, but to actually flip it to support. Yeah, look at that. Resistance, 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 support. And this big weekly level, I'm very, very interested in. I've had that alert on there for a long time. So this one, from this perspective, could perhaps push a little bit higher. If it can get past the very local resistance, which would be this daily level here. Yeah, did we already tap it? No. Actually, I would take, not that one, but I would take this one here. Yeah, there you go. So perhaps this is the turnaround point is coming up already. So the New York Stock Exchange is not open yet. This is all futures data. That's what I would definitely wait for. I like to wait on Mondays for New York to show its cards, because it can help you plan the entire week. So we'll see what happens. Yeah. This is what we've done so far during the Asia session and a good part of London session. And let's see what's up with the New York session. Yeah. So if it can get past that daily level, then I would be shooting for the weekly. So this one looks a bit more bullish, right? Trying to break out of the range and backtesting the top of that was resistance to support. So the Nasdaq looks better in that sense. Apple also is looking pretty cool. It's trying to stay outside of this, basically, this huge parallel channel and the 3-year value area high. Yeah, so massive, massive resistance and previous month high. And so far, it's been hovering up here. So very nice. Well done. But yeah, we'll see if you can actually stay up here, huh? So as you can see, this would be super bullish. It has already backtested the resistance as support last week. Now we need to follow through a little bit more, and we're talking about all-time highs. Yeah, fall back into this channel and lose this 3-year value area high. So this very, very important area of support around, let's say, 166 to 168. Then you start turning. You can start expecting a rotation within the channel again, just like in the past. Yeah, and then it turns into not bullish at all, but rather possibly aiming even for a lower low down here. Yeah. So this is a very interesting one to keep in mind, or to keep observing. And so far it's undecisive up here, but at least staying there. Yeah. We'll see how this develops. All right. Did we cover the next one? Yeah. This is where it gets interesting now. Because for any of the assets we've covered so far to go up in price, usually you would expect the US dollar index to pull back. Yeah. And what it did last week is actually the opposite. It not only did it push up in price, but it basically engulfed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, yeah, and touching into the 6th week of data, smashed through everything and closed above this yearly level of previously resistance. Now could be flipped to support. So this is also one I'm keeping an eye on, because this could have still some room to run now that the impulse has started. And the simplest way to look at it would be to say, all right, from high to low. Oh, that's nice. And that's actually quite far away. So this is quite a bit of a push up here. So you can see there's no weekly levels of resistance until here. This one has already been tapped. Monthly, the monthly one is up here. Oof. So these are quite far away. Yeah, this would mean quite a bit of upside, which means downside for everything else. Usually, yeah, it's not an exact science, but usually. Yeah. So this could have room to run still, which makes it very difficult for the other assets to push higher significantly. Yeah, not impossible, but more difficult. So a way to trade this inversely is, for example, looking at the EURUSD. That's what I like to do. Whoops. Let me put this one here. Can you see this? Yeah. So this is very interesting as well. What I've done here is, well, first, this is the naked chart, of course, and I've added the yearly level. I've had it on for a long time. That's the weekly level from 2022. It comes from here, from this little block of price action where we spend 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks fighting around, basically. Well, actually, you can add 2 more to that. And it has not been able, to claim it as support. Yeah, resistance for quite a while in this upper range, and finally last Thursday it took the lows of the range, a bit of a reaction, but ended up dropping on Friday as well. And now look at what's happening here. Look at that. This is the value area high of everything since December. So December, January, February, March, April, May. We're talking about almost half a year now of data. And it closed the daily candle below it. Now we could be backtesting this daily level that was support as resistance, yeah, close below, and the value area high. So obviously this is looking a bit ominous in the sense that it seems to want to rotate lower to golden pocket, for example, or 786, which is, I don't know if you can see it. I'll just turn off the fib retracement for a second. That's the point of control of the entire data pool here, yeah. So even if this is part of still a continuation of the bullish impulse that we've had since basically September, we could still see more of a pullback, yeah, before it can manage to continue higher. That would be the more bullish scenario, but pulling back initially, and this can take a while. These are all daily candles, yeah, this can take quite a while. And if not, it's basically losing this area of support, then it turns a lot more bearish, because basically you're reversing all of this move, and losing this yearly level would be quite bearish. Yeah, so that's something you don't want to see happen if you're bullish on this asset. Okay, but for now, here we are fighting at this area, and so far kind of struggling to stay above it. Yeah, staying below it is more bearish. That means this one's going up, this one's going down, and then you would expect the stock market to also pull back, and Bitcoin as well, more or less. Yeah, but sometimes they kind of do whatever they want, just not indefinitely. So jumping to gold now, this is also one that I enjoy looking at very much and trading as well. And you can see that it's extremely close to all-time highs, but just not quite making it. Yeah, not quite making it. So if we zoom in a bit more locally, these are the weekly levels now, which have been respected so well. They have been fantastic. Let me turn off the fixed range here for a second. That's the all-time high, the standing one. That's the big POC of the range now. Let's turn that off for a second. And these are basically the weekly levels. Yeah, this one is fresh, and we're just backtesting it as resistance today. This was a previous weekly level that was made in April and backtested as well as resistance. And then we had to move down to the other weekly level. And you can see what kind of respect these weekly levels have. So if we zoom into today, we see that basically the fight is between these two weeklies. Yeah, it's that simple, really. You lose the 2007 one, you open yourself for, well, there's a daily level, for a rotation down in this part of the range, this chunk here, and possibly to this one. Okay, if you can, or if price can go back above this weekly level, then you open this upper part. Okay, and possibly all-time highs. So it's very much stuck now in an area where decisions have to be made. Yeah, make or break kind of. Let's have a look in the 15-minute what it looks like. Yeah, so it's pretty much fighting on here. Nothing super duper clear so far. Look at that. Even the local range can be traded so nicely. Beautiful. Very nice. Okay. So this one is at a bit of a more bullish if it stays above 2007, above this weekly. Lose it, and then it turns more, at least locally, more bearish. If you lose the lower weekly level here, then it's then we can start considering possible swing short possibilities. Yeah, but that's really far away. So for now, it seems to be a little bit more bullish. However, with a warning sign that this guy or the US dollar index pushed quite a lot last week. That's not good for gold either. And this one is struggling to stay above this area of support. Yeah. So these go against our little crypto plan there. And let's see what Ethereum is doing. Let's see if we can find some help there. So I, on purpose, also zoomed it out. Excuse me. Because I think this one is in a very, very interesting place. It seems to be doing better than Bitcoin, because if this is the similar area or the similar pivot from June, we're way above it, right? That was resistance. Look at that. And we're closing candles above it. So it looks better, right? In that sense. And if you just use the, this was from here, from the Corona low to now, that's the point of control of everything. This big red line. Yeah, that's why I drew it there. So let's tune in locally to see what's going on. And this is it. Basically, from a higher time frame perspective, we could say stay above the 1800 point of control, then it's more bullish. Go below it and it's more bearish. Yeah. And you can see that we're just dancing around it, of course. Nice and messy, stopping everyone out over and over and over. And we could subdivide this into two ranges, for example, or more, depending on how you want to look at this. And we're kind of holding this value area low area, creating daily levels of support as well, similar to Bitcoin here, and backtesting them as support so far. And we have entered into this little old range that we had here in March. Yeah. Initially, the point of control provided a nice reaction. A short one here, a short-lived one, and ultimately on Friday, last Friday, we did rotate to the all the way to the value area low, but did not quite reach this daily level here. What a shame. Now we seem to be gaining acceptance, in other words, buying interest within this upper value area or this upper range, so we can expect the same. Yeah, point of control, value area high. Okay, so very similar story to Bitcoin, no surprise. They often do pretty much the same. But overall, it's still an area of, we can call it indecision. Yeah. Are you above the POC? Are you below the POC? The point of control. Let me just hide these two so we can see it a bit clearer. Bam, bam. And there you go, the monthly. So the monthly candles are looking a bit better. Yeah. Because so far it's staying above it. So that's how I'm viewing Ethereum to add it to market context. So if you caught, of course, any longs from down here, fantastic. But same thing as on Bitcoin, you have to keep in mind that this could be the beginning of bearish market structure. Okay, could be. All right. So I think that's all I wanted to cover. Bitcoin. Yeah, I think that's everything. Ooh, nice. So I didn't take so long today. Oh yeah, one thing I was missing. That's why I was so fast. So we can have a look at the TPO profile showing us, what is this? The 6th, so pretty much a week of data, or a bit over a week. And we can see some naked points of control, or untapped points of control, or virgin points of control. They're all the same. And we have a one very close to 29K here. Yeah, which lines up with our other stuff. Let's see, where is it? Yeah, so this area here, very nice. That adds an extra factor of juiciness, so to speak. And we've just managed to clear the one from the 11th of May, slightly higher at 27.6. There's another one, yeah? So these can also be used as factors for your intraday trading. We have left one down here from the 12th, from Friday, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, at 26.3. So yeah, there's some stuff to add to your planning. But this one up here, for example, would line up quite nicely with the other things. Yeah, this 27.6, if I'm not mistaken, that should be 28. Okay, so it's a bit below the larger point of control. So if we tap that one, I would expect also to get to this point of control here, because it's pretty big. Okay, hope that makes sense. All right, and what else we got here? Let's see what's been going on. Actually, I have open interest increasing here. Oh, wow. Cheeky. Huh. A lot of shorts seem to be interested, but also some longs, huh? It's kind of everybody going at it at the same time. Well, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. VWAP, previous day high. Yeah, we're quite overextended from the daily open. That's true. That is true. Yeah. So if we manage to see some, if we started seeing bearish CVD divergences, for example, then I would be a little bit more careful. But we can view, keep it simple, view the VWAP as support for now. Yeah. Don't lose the VWAP and it's okay. If you lose the VWAP, you're probably going to start reversing everything we've done so far today and this week. Yeah. And of course, ultimately that daily level, you don't want to see that lost. Yeah. For this rotation to continue, you don't really want to see the 26.7 area lost. 26.7. What is that number? Sound familiar? Yeah. So wicking is okay. Yeah, wick, but not closing daily candles below 26.7. That's more bearish. Okay. I think that's all I wanted to cover. I hope it all makes sense. And if it doesn't, then just post, just tag me on Discord. The link is in the description for our Discord at Safehouse. And yeah, just drop me a message there and let me know if everything is okay. And if you understood everything, that's important. All right. That's pretty much it. It feels like I'm forgetting something though. All right, let's see. Good morning, good morning. Hello, hello. Just subbed. Okay, welcome. Very nice. Then yeah, if you guys don't have any questions, then I'll just wait for the questions on Discord. Have a fantastic Monday. I hope this helped you set up or clarify how you want to approach this week. Of course, none of this is financial advice. Do whatever you like. It's your money on the line. And if you're inexperienced, then please don't use real money. Just do paper trading and test out your strategies first before you put capital at risk. Yeah. And yeah, take it easy. Of course, we're gonna keep up posting updates on Discord about how the week develops, and we do have this daily Sitrep updates as well to see if, as these levels are reached, what kind of reactions are happening there. Is there a change in plans that needs to be considered? Of course, if new data comes in and new possibilities appear, then of course jump on those. Yeah. So be flexible with your ideas, but strict with your rules. Yeah, it's Mark Douglas basically. Alrighty, take care everyone. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you around. Join us on Discord, and we can chat some more. Bye bye. Take care. Tschüss.